Hi everyone, Vivek this side. In this video I want to go through the process of creating this image. It's a small video, not so much as a tutorial but a walkthrough of how I created this image, basically my process flow. So I was browsing through YouTube and came across this tutorial, and it was about how to make a transparent pill in Inkscape. It looked really interesting to me, and for a small challenge, I thought I would recreate that pill on my own. So this was the result in Inkscape of my tries. I had fun creating it, and to be frank, I like this one better. Um, this way of copying the idea is a nice exercise. Without knowing the process of other guy, you challenge yourself to repeat it. After that, I took the project a bit further and tried to recreate that image in Blender. So this is my output in Blender. Okay, now let's jump to Blender. First, let's look at the 3D view itself. Nothing major is going on here. It's a very simple scene. Just a camera background, and background is a plane. Our hero the pill, and two light source. So there are three aspects of this image: modeling, rendering, and composition. All three steps are crucial if you want to recreate any asset for a 2D game or for publishing. For 3D games, material and composition don't play that big of a role, because you have to again do it in the game engine. If you divide the pill in basic shapes, half sphere on the top and a cylinder in between, and you can recreate it that way as well. The approach that I took here is a simpler one. I just took a sphere and then I stretched in between. So let me just add my sphere here. And well, I have been working on Blender for a very long time, and since 2.8 reboot, some things that are very small, but just takes forever to find it. And it took me a while to find this thing where you can change the segments and rings in your sphere. And this is essential to keep your vertices count low in case you are aiming for a game engine. Okay, so let's modify it. Okay, that's to my liking. It's easier to work with less complicated shapes, so stick to those as long as you can before your model gets too complicated. So now I'm just adding a loop here and there and then stretching it out. So that was just my basic pill. Now for the liquid, it's just a plane, and then I just intersected it with my pill, and then you'll be left with the part that you want. Now moving on to the materials. So of course I just did all the materials via nodes, and they are all procedure, no texture. For this scene, materials are fairly simple. The pill just had a transparent shader applied to it. I'll just show you. And to catch those lights, on the pill, like I used in Inkscape, I am using very high specular value, right? Liquid and the spheres that are the bubbles are very shiny, just a polished surface. Okay. The scene is entirely lit by area lights, and I am using two planes, and this is of course cycles, and then setting their materials as emitters. Now the thing that consumed most of my time, to my surprise in this scene, was background. I wanted a nice gradient, the same thing I used in Inkscape. One way to do it is use a very high density image, that is high pixel image in your as a texture. But I wanted to achieve this completely in Blender. I mean, that was the point of the exercise. So first thing is, you have to extract the UV for this rectangle to make sure that the ramp, or the gradient, looks nice. This is the node setup for my material. Now straight out of box, the radial gradient didn't work for me. I don't know if I was doing something wrong or this is the way it is. There was an offset there. The circle that was supposed to come in the between was coming on one of the edges. So if you know what I was doing wrong, yeah, please enlighten me. This is my render configuration. It's pretty much default state. Main thing to note here is that the pre-processing should be turned on. The world does not has any shaders and ambient light is off. I'll just show you my compositor screenshot as well. Now I am using the RGB curves is just to brighten up the image, otherwise it was too dull. And then I'm just adding blur and the streaks, and then I am using a lot of mixed nodes. So the product from the first stage is then being added in each subsequent stages for that subtle effect. Just to show the image a bit crisp. And this is the final product. Now of course you can do a lot of things on this image to make it much better. You can play around with the bubbles, um, uh, the liquid on top can be improved as well. um, yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Bye.